Hello, welcome to Grandpa and the Goddess of Poetry. Today I'm going to read a poem by Alexander Pushkin, a very great Russian poet who is highly respected today. In Russia, he's still wildly popular and deservedly so. He's sometimes called Russia's answer to Byron, and I can see similarities, so many in fact, that I'm going to do a little comparison with one of Byron's poems. Pushkin was very similar, I think, in character to Byron. He was a society man, a ladies' man, a member of the Russian nobility. He was quite an adventurer in many ways and very quick to respond to challenges. He fought a large number of duels over presumably matters of honor and of perhaps ladies' honor. He fought a total of 29 duels. Sadly, the 29th one, killed him. But what a magnificent way to go. I mean, Byron died not exactly fighting for the Greeks, but following their cause. He died of fever. Pushkin died in a duel. Romantic deaths for each. And some of their poetry is quite similar, I think. Of course, Pushkin's I only have in translation. Sadly, I'm not a Russian scholar. But I'm going to read this poem, which I think is well translated, and it's called A Magic Moment I Remember. And then I'm going to compare it to one of Byron's poems. Here we are, A Magic Moment I Remember. A magic moment I remember. I raised my eyes and you were there. A fleeting vision, the quintessence of all that's beautiful and rare. I pray to mute despair and anguish, to vain the pursuits of world esteems. Loving, long did I hear your soothing accents, long did your features haunt my dreams. Time passed, a rebel storm blast scattered the reveries that once were mine. And I forgot your soothing accents, your features gracefully divine. To dark days of enforced retirement, I gazed upon grey skies above, with no ideals to inspire me, no one to cry for, to live for, to love. Then came a moment of renaissance. I looked up. You again are there. A fleeting vision, the quintessence of all that's beautiful and rare. I think that's a very fine, lovely poem, obviously addressed to a lady, I don't know who, but by a man who's obviously passionate in many ways. Alexander Pushkin, a great Russian poet, perhaps not enough appreciated by us in the West. I recommend his writings. And I just want to say that that last poem, A Magic Moment I Remember, I was remembering at the time one of Byron's famous poems, She Walks in Beauty Like the Night. And I'm just going to read it so that you can compare it to what you've just heard of Pushkin. Here we are. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that leeched light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shadow the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm yet eloquent. Their smiles that sin, that things that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. I love that poem of Byron's. Of the two, I have to say I prefer it, but I do think Pushkin comes a very close second. Two very fine poets, contemporaries, great, great men. Thank you for listening.